I want to welcome in New York Congressman who has followed these protests closely. Congressman Anthony D'Esposito, thank you so much for joining me this morning. So you're waking up, you're seeing the images out of Columbia University. What do you make of this?
It's a sad day, but unfortunately, as we've seen the failed leadership at Columbia University, it's pretty much expected. I mean, when you ignore and you try to negotiate with the lunatics that have taken over at the university, I said to the president the other day that you cannot rationalize with irrational people, and that's exactly what she's attempting to do. She set times that she wanted these individuals out of the quad. They were ignored. They remained there, as we saw in the video that you played just a few minutes ago. They actually took a hand vote if they were staying or not. I mean, the inmates are running the asylum, and what we saw that has come out overnight. This is no longer, or never really was, a peaceful protest. These are now individuals committing crimes on the campus. They need to be arrested. They need to be thrown out of the school. The president needs to resign immediately, and we need to take back Columbia.
Yeah, they're committing crimes in front of cameras. They're breaking windows, breaking doors, and we're hearing that there were people working inside the building at the time. They were held there against their will. Does Biden pay any political price for what's going on at this college campus and all of the college campuses across the country that are having these protests?
Well, I think Democrats are going to pay the price, as we've seen. I mean, listen, they can try to spin this however they want. They've tried to spin the border. They've tried to spin crime. And I guess now they'll try to spin the disasters that are occurring at these petri dishes of hate throughout the country. But what the American people are seeing are the facts, and that are you have President Biden, who's been virtually silent on the issue because he is pandering to the far left of his party, and you have other Democrats, that thankfully have come out. The more moderates, they don't care what the far left of their party have to say, but there's not enough of them. And when you have the president being led around legitimately by the far left progressives because he's concerned about winning states like Michigan and Minnesota, places that Democrats have historically done well, but his poll numbers are in the dumpster. That's a real problem. And that's exactly what's unfolding on these campuses throughout the country. You have states that are led by Republicans who are taking control of these campuses, who are holding people accountable, who are placing them under arrest. And then you have places like Columbia who are ignoring and trying to negotiate with people that are running around campus by the way, whose parents are paying $95,000 a year for them to run around the campus wearing T-shirts that say, "I am Hamas."
Yeah, you mentioned states that are doing something about it. At the University of Texas in Austin, they're being arrested when they're breaking the law, but not is the case at Columbia. I want you to take a listen to The View. Whoopi Goldberg's latest comments on the protest, of course, spinning things.
It is one of the great rights as an American to stand up and say something's wrong. Part of our problem is the media takes what is the best clickbait. So you see the same posters or you see the same people, but you don't see the folks who are doing peaceful stuff and saying, here's what we want to do. I would caution the media to be very careful about what they're doing and how they're handling this.
I'm glad that she wants to caution us, but these are the images that we are seeing out of Columbia University. Your take on what she had to say, that this is all just a spin by the media, that they really are peaceful protests?
She's part of the problem. I don't think that most people who are paying attention to current events really take Whoopi Goldberg seriously. The facts are very clear. There's Jewish students in New York City and across this country that are being assaulted. They're being accosted in hallways. They're being spit on. That's from their mouth. These are not things that we're making up. I went with Speaker Johnson last Wednesday. We went to the local Chabad right near Columbia University, and we spoke to students who have been in fear for months, who have reported issues to the administration, and it's all fallen on deaf ears. So what we're seeing now is not a spin by the media. What we're seeing is a spin by people like Whoopi Goldberg, who actually don't want to focus on the facts. And the facts are that these are now peaceful, she claims peaceful protests. Last night, there were buildings broken into, windows broken, people held against their will. That doesn't sound too peaceful to me.